Hey, Microchurch, Crawl Space Ninja. Today we are continuing our Basement Ninja video series, Basement Waterproofing 101, Understanding the Basements. We got some great stuff to cover. We're going to talk about hazards that you'll find in your basement, the reasons why your basement is flooding, the number one reason why your basement floods, interior and exterior waterproofing tips. Let's go ahead and get started on many of the hazards that you'll see in basements. This is not all of the hazards that you'll notice inside of a basement, but you're going to find mold. Just think about the basement is kind of the catch-all for everything. Air quality wise, it's probably a poor indoor air quality environment. By the way, quick quiz, comment down below. According to a lot of the expert, what is the worst room in the house for indoor air quality? If you could let me know down below what you think that room is in the house. The worst one for indoor air pollution. Let's get back to this. There's a lot of mold in the basement. Whether you have high humidity or flooding or a toilet leak or washing machines in the basement, you've got bacteria that grows in basements. We have found bacteria if you've had gray water flooding from washing machine or a tub overflows. Anywhere you have high humidity and carpets, you're going to have a lot of dust mites. Radon levels typically are very high in basements. And as I mentioned, you have high humidity down there. Believe it or not, high humidity is its own thing. Even though it causes mold and other problems, it also causes other issues like rhinitis and respiratory and asthma issues. We've done quite a few videos on how high humidity is a danger to you just by itself without the side effects of mold and high dust mites. Carbon monoxide levels can be very high in basements. You got sewer gases, especially if you have a basement that maybe has an open sewer drain in the floor. VOCs, you just created your man cave, you painted everything, you got all this stuff, you got all these off gases and toxins going on in the basement. And of course, pests. You'll find those house centipedes down there, black widow spiders in the basements, cockroaches love to be in basements. These are some of the hazards that you'll find inside of a basement. So why do basements flood? I found this to be great information about why basements flood. This is located from Utilities Kingston, which is based in Ontario, Canada. I'm going to put a link right here if you want to visit this website. Flooding of basements can occur anytime. It can happen to anyone who has a basement, even if you have never experienced a flood before. While most often flooding occurs during big rains or rapid snow melts in the spring, it can occur even during dry weather. Think about that for a second. You can get a flooded basement even during dry weather. Now that's a tribute to water tables and things that we don't necessarily know about going on under the soil. Of course, if you're experiencing a flood in dry weather, usually that's from a high water table. Perhaps you're near a body of water. Your neighbor could be dumping water on you. They could have an above ground pool that they're draining, and that could flood your basement. You don't always get flooded basements from storms. There are a number of reasons why basements flood. Flooding can occur by seepage or flow through the walls or foundation floor from surface water or by a storm sewer backup. Great information on this website if you get a chance to take a look at it. Last week, we unveiled this video using a thermal imaging camera to find hidden water leaks in your basement. I just want to mention that if you get a chance to watch that video. In our experience, the number one cause of basement flooding is failure of the foundation drainage. The foundation drainage, in most cases, is going to be why your basement floods. Even if that above ground pool from your neighbor floods your basement, it's because your foundation footer drains, your French drains, things that are installed around your house were not able to handle the amount of water that was thrown at it. A lot of times those foundation footer drains are installed improperly. Even new homes, we have seen new homes flood due to improper installation. They become clogged. This is a perforated pipe that does not have any kind of sock around it. That gravel, the soil, the sediment can get in and clog that pipe and cause issues. That water's got nowhere to go but inside of your basement. Movement of the soil can cause these older footer drains to crack. One of the houses that we did an exterior waterproofing on many years ago had terracotta pipe as the footer drain, and it was put in sections around the outside, and the soil shifted it, and those sections broke loose, clogged up, water had nowhere to go but inside the basement. No daylight access. What I mean by that is all of these footer drains should lead to a pop-up valve or some kind of drainage, even if it's a dry well well or a storm drain, and those can become destroyed if you've had landscaping done, or perhaps they built a house next to you. They can destroy that daylight access. It could become overburdened. We have seen people run their downspouts into these footer drains and put too much water in for it to handle. And then, of course, poor membranes being installed. As you can see, this poured foundation wall has zero membrane protection on it, so that water can just seep right in. Once they backfill the dirt, the water can just pour right in to that foundation wall through the wall itself, even if the footer drain is working properly. A lot of contractors use really cheap tar to put on the outside, and that tar can be compromised very easily as well. So what is the best way to address a flooded basement? Some lean more towards the exterior way of doing things, some lean more towards the interior. I am not going to advocate for one or the other, because sometimes both is needed. If you decide to do this yourself, you can do it on the exterior or the interior. Here are some tips I want to leave you with. You want to excavate all of the earth down to the footer. Then you want to replace that footer if you're dealing with an exterior waterproofing system all the way to daylight. Make sure that footer drain goes to daylight. Mark it so that it does not get compromised in the future. Make sure nobody messes with that exterior footer drain to daylight. You want to make sure your downspouts are run separately and independently of the footer drains on the outside, and use a great membrane. As you can see right here, this is what I'm talking about, an exterior membrane, or you can use a rubberized membrane. I did a video with Pedro. I'm going to put a link to that video right up here in the top right corner. We did a great video with him, and he did the exterior of his crawl space / basement before he even addressed the interior. Make sure you watch that video. It's got some great information, but use a great exterior membrane. As a matter of fact, our crawl space dimple underlayment can be used as an exterior waterproofer if you want to use that, and we've got that available on our DIY store. Some interior tips: remove all that concrete, expose that interior footer so that you can put a drain tile all around the perimeter of that interior footer. You want to choose your sump pump locations where most of the water intrusion is happening, typically in a corner. We like putting sump pump pits in the corner of the interior. You want to rerun those downspouts just like you would if it was an exterior job. You want to make sure you have a great membrane on the inside as well. I've seen a lot of interior waterproofing systems where they just have the waterproofing just above the slab. We like to put an interior waterproofing all the way up the foundation wall. If you do get an exterior problem that comes in, that water is going to hit that membrane and be forced down into that interior waterproofing system. From the interior sump pump, make sure you mark those discharges into the yard properly so nobody messes with those as well. If you need help waterproofing your basement, Crawl Space Ninja, Basement Waterproofing Ninja does interior waterproofing systems and exterior work, whether it's downspout extensions. But I also want to let you know that if you're interested in fixing your own basement, we've got the tools and the materials and the know-how to coach you on how to do this yourself. So make sure you reach out to our DIY specialist at diy.crawlspaceninja.com. We would love to have some videos with some of you that have done your own basement. I know it's a big lift for a lot of people to do their own basement, but we can help you do it. We believe in you and know you can do it, and we're going to coach you and show you exactly what to do to make sure that you have a worry-free basement for years to come. So I'm Michael Church with Crawl Space Ninja and Basement Ninja. We hope you make it a happy and blessed day, and we'll see you later.